So here I thought this would be a video about the Division 2 and my thoughts on the game. Of course, it came out a year ago, but I recently just got around to actually finishing it after picking it up in December when it was on sale at quite a few retailers for $12. And I guess in short, I'll say the game was definitely worth that. It took me almost 40 hours to beat the main storyline because I was doing so many of the little side things, not realizing that the end game is as extensive as it is and how it kind of has you repeat some of those small things that I went off and did already. But nonetheless, I really enjoyed the game, but I don't know if it's something where I'm going to clean up the end game in the way some people have and really just dive deep into it. I know that once I got done with Destiny 2, I put the game down, uninstalled it, and I've never ever played it again. The story wasn't even that exciting to begin with, so I don't even know why I even finished it. But the fact that these games are strictly online is something that's very demotivating for me to go through and really try and get everything out of the game I can in like a completionist sense, or really wanting to experience the full game. And I get it, the games as a service model is growing. It's only going to become more popular as time goes on. People want to play online multiplayer games. I get it. But when I pick up a full price game like the Division 2, now granted, I paid $12 for it, so I don't feel bad about it. I enjoyed it for that. And I see that this full price game requires internet. I'm kind of demotivated to even start playing the game in the first place. It's the reason why I won't subscribe to a service like Game Pass. I want the games that matter most to me and the ones that I really enjoy to be something that I know will be there forever, or for the foreseeable future. And when I sign up for something like Game Pass and at the end of any given month they could just take a game off that I'm halfway through playing or that I'm really enjoying, or that maybe I played a year ago and I want to go back to, that's really demotivating to me to even want to start a game. And we run into the same problem with these games that require internet. You see, once those servers are offline, or once the console itself is offline because maybe the Xbox Live for this console has been deactivated, those games are basically unplayable. And of course, Ubisoft could take down the servers on their end as well, and they haven't done it with the Division 1 yet, but we may see that eventually. And then what is the Division 1? It's nothing more than a coaster. We ran into this problem with MAG on the PlayStation 3, where MAG is literally an unplayable game. If you buy a copy of MAG today on eBay or at a local game store, it's nothing more than a coaster. It's completely useless. And obviously you're going to play these games, you're going to get the fun out of them that you want to get out of them in the time that you're playing them and that other people are actively playing them. But what I miss is the idea of a save file, a tangible file in these games that I can go back and look at. I got really interested lately in going back and looking at some old Pokemon saves that I had. Now, my original Pokemon cartridges, unfortunately, I traded into GameStop to buy a PSP when I was like 12 years old, which was a mistake because I shouldn't have done that, but getting the PSP wasn't a mistake because I thoroughly enjoyed that and the modding community and whatnot around it, and ultimately got me into playing these Game Boy Advance games on emulators on the PSP. Thus, where we come to these emulator save files that I have. So getting to go back and look at those save files and just kind of see what I was doing at 12 and 13 years old, what I thought a good team was on Pokemon, what the attacks I had selected were, the different strategies that I had. I was able to see all of that in the save file, and it was something that I was very nostalgic about. And then again the other day, I went back through some of the older Madden games I have on the PlayStation 2, and I looked at my franchise files in there, and it was just crazy to see some of, the different teams I'd put together, rosters I'd put together. I would usually start with the typical roster, and then I would trade and try and grab people from other teams by trading out draft picks, because I thought draft picks were meaningless. I never seemed to be able to draft good players anyways. Or I would do a fantasy draft, and I would build a team completely from scratch, using the different players available in the NFL at the time. So it was really awesome to be able to go back and look at those save files, and that is something that is completely lost on games like the Division 2. Now, I could finish the Division 2 like I did, and then I could play the end game extensively, and everything that I have to show for it in 10 years when I want to go back and reminisce about the Division 2 is more than likely nothing, because the servers are probably down in 10 years, let's be honest. So if what I'm doing today, trying to gather as much of each individual thing in a completionist sense on this game, isn't going to be something that I can look back on in 10 years, just demotivates me to even want to try to do it. It's one of the reasons, though, that I do like going for achievements on Xbox, and quite honestly, why I probably won't get a PlayStation 5 as my main console when I do decide it's time to get one, which won't be anywhere near launch day. Because I love the fact that the achievement system is carried over across multiple Xbox console generations. It's still running strong on the Xbox 360, and even when the Xbox 360 goes offline, I know that those achievements that I accomplished on that system will still be tied to my profile. And it's really neat for me to be able to look back through my achievement list and see what achievements I unlocked in 2010. That was literally a complete decade ago, and those achievements are still shown up unlocked in there. And I just find the whole thing to be very nostalgic. I know not everybody appreciates that, but it's one of the reasons why these games that require internet are just something that I simply cannot get into, and I just can't want to commit anything more than just finishing the storyline on, because I know that no matter what cool stuff I unlock today, it's not going to be there when I want to go back and take another look at this game in the future. And it just really upsets me that something like The Division 2 has to have an internet access requirement when the game really does just feel like a single player game. I played the game completely solo. I didn't have anyone to play it with. I didn't join any random game sessions. Just played the whole thing solo, which I would like to hopefully play with some random here eventually so that I can get that achievement for reviving a fallen teammate, because I couldn't even do that. I finished the whole campaign because I wasn't playing with anybody. So thank you guys for watching. I'm Bailey, and I will see you in the next video.